Okay, so hopefully my son and I or somebody will help me smush these two together because I hit the damn wrong button. Welcome to my world. Okay, so when I sewed project bags, I didn't sew them all the same size. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. And I didn't, there's nothing in there really. So a lot of them are just really floppy. And I don't particularly care for that. I'd like my OCD, ADD brain would like them all to line up nice and neat and be orderly. So I have the fabric and I have even vinyl cut. I don't have the fabric cut. It's sitting there in a mountain. Um, so the big debate is, do I just sit like one weekend aside, grab my sewing machine and have at it and sew, 100 project bags and make sure that they're all essentially the same size so that my OCC isn't bothered? Or do I break down and spend, what, $50 and buy the zipper easy plasticky ones off of the Zon and use my Cricut and put then they're all the same. And then just Cricut the vinyl stickers for like the name of the project on them. I mean, I have the vinyl, but I'd still have to buy the bags. Or like I said, I could use the mountain of fabric that I have sitting actually on my chest freezer in my kitchen waiting to get cut. And I have the zippers already. I don't know. So, okay, so I set goals each year. And I usually revisit them once a quarter or so, and we may make adjustments or stuff. And usually I try to take the list of goals and then I break them down to, okay, these are the ones I want to focus in either this month or this quarter. In the effort of trying to get more organized and finding planner peace is what I always call it. I found this planner yesterday at Target. I love Target. You go to Target and the Target tells you what you need. And that's how we shop at the Target.
That's how you shop at the Target.
That's how everybody I know shops at Target except for the boy child.
Well, because
but that's because he doesn't really he doesn't have any money. But he sure is demanding of my money. Yeah. Okay, so in the Target dollar spot for $3, they have this planner. Now, I don't particularly care for this cover. Actually, it's got the plastic and then it's got this piece. I'm not going to complain for $3. Honestly, I'm not going to rip it out or anything else. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But right now, it's staying the way it is. Okay, so here's why I love this product. The thought of doing one of those bullet journals, I love seeing the creativity that people do with them. I seriously, I love them. I don't have the brain power to be that way. That's the long and short of it. I just don't. But this planner, it's not dated. This is blank up there. This is blank down here. It says notes. So I've started. This is my January main page. Because I'm also a doodler when I'm on the phone and I just write, or I'll write random notes. These are my January focus goals. And this is my shopping list. So yeah. So last year we finished up the year with 33 cross stitch finishes. I had some sewing finishes. And I read 183 books. Thank you, audiobooks. Audiobooks are considered reading in my world. So I set aside, and I talked over with my coach as well, sort of what we want as goals for the year as far as am I going to solidly return to racing? And if so, what does that look like? Or am I going to just train to train? Or what? Um, I have had the goal now for, well, almost 7 years that I wanted my Ironman. Now, 2 of those have been derailed by COVID. One of those years, I did attempt Ironman. We started, we looked good, and we collapsed halfway through the bike. Nobody was expecting that. And then that threw me mentally off my game as far as Ironman. Then I had the whole thing with the business, my focus on that sort of took off that year. Wasn't real consistent with things because I was still dealing with the mental of collapsing on the course and then figuring why and how did it happen and what did I do wrong, if I did anything wrong, kind of thing. And we're still not 100% sure, which is kind of freaking me out on some levels. But, and then, rebuilding the business, well, building a business, and then COVID hit. So, the goal ultimately is to get things back on track with my back and hips. Things we've made some good progress recently. I got a at-home TENS unit to sort of loosen up those muscles, and that's really been helping. So if I can get I mean, my bike is solid. It's just spending longer training days, which I should be able to handle. It really and truly, it's going to come down to the run. And that's ultimately where we've been at since brain surgeries. We knew that that was going to be the biggest hurdle. So in coming up with that, the goal is, knock on wood, to knock out Ironman the end of July. If my body is feeling well, we'll go ahead and do Swim to the Moon in August. I'll do late registration. And we'll do the 5K swim. And then I have Bear Lake in the beginning of October, which, if everything, again, is still holding out with my health and my back and hips, we ideally will hit the 50K on the course. And so that it would be officially registered with Ultra Runner and stuff. So, but we set some shorter term goals as well. And so for me, these are my goals. And so I am always curious. The other thing that I'm starting to kind of weed through some of my patterns and things. I'm going to start a bin. And what I've decided is, rather than doing giveaways, I'm just going to randomly send stuff. Like, here's a random act of kindness pattern. Do what you want with it. Pass it along if you don't want to stitch it, kind of thing. It just, I don't know, my brain is just wrapped around that idea a lot better than worrying about, oh my God, did I pull the winner? Yeah. No, we're just, when I have a couple extra bucks and can spend it on postage, that's what we'll do. So if you set goals, I'd love to know. And if you don't mind, if you want to share them, that would be great, because I'd love to be like your hype girl. Woo-hoo. So what the hell was that?
You said that it would pop my head at some point.
Okay,
so I did.
My kid is weird. Okay, so for me, I'd like to drink at least 100 ounces of water every day, because we all need better hydration and stuff. So I want to train as planned by my coach, at a rate of 90% plus of the time. That leaves some leeway for, hey, you're just feeling like shit, or hey, there's too much going on, like whatever. I need to get back to a Kelly-friendly style of eating. For me, that means gluten-free, low dairy, low FODMAP, which means really and truly no beef, no onion, no garlic, none of that kind of stuff. Okay. Train to conquer Ironman. And then I want to complete our Club Polar Bear Challenge. We are a little behind on run walk miles, but already this month, but that's okay. We have plenty of time to catch up. I want to grow my business by at least 25% over last year. I want to read or listen to 150 books this year. Like I said, we hit 183 last year, so I feel like 150 is still pushing it with things because last year I wasn't in school for the first, what, 2/3. So, I am already on book two, maybe two, on book two. And then I've got three more lined up. So hopefully by the end of the week, by the time we talk next time, broken down, that means I want to hit, I think, 12 to 15 books this month. Um, so, let's see. I want to finish at least 12 cross stitch UFOs. 12. But hey, this month should be at least 3. So that's a rousing start. Um, I have a student loan that I am down to last. It's less than 10 grand left on the student loan, and I want it paid off this year. Um, I want to take my personal training certification class and pass that test. I want to plan at least one family activity every 3 months. I say that, and that could just mean us all going out to dinner someplace or whatever. But with all three of us being in school, it gets, and me working, it gets a little crazy, and sometimes we lose sight of that, and we don't do that. So, that I have decided that next year, I am going on vacation during Christmas time to some place that includes a sandy, warm beach and fruity drinks on the beach. So my plan is to plan it, because we're debating if one of my goals, my bucket list goals, is to go to Disney World. I've never been. As much of a Disney freak as I am, I've never been. My kids have never been either. I'd like to go to Disney World at least for a couple of those days while we're in Florida, because it won't be that far if we go to Fort Lauderdale area, which is where I'm kind of thinking. But I want to pay for it as well ahead of time as much as possible. So pay for the hotel, pay for the airfare, pay for the dog boarding ahead of time. If I have to board my dogs, which God help us, I don't know how Lissy's going to handle with that. I do have one friend who has volunteered, but we'll see. Um, and I'm sure I have another friend who I'm sure would watch her too. Um, or watch all three of the amigos. Um, so yeah, so I want to have that as much paid for ahead of time as possible. Let's see. Here's this is what I affectionately call my Janet Jabber goal of the year, and that is to practice grace, love, and patience with myself. That one's going to be a tricky one. I want to send out at least 24 cards to friends just because. Not because it's your birthday, not because of anything, just because. Let's see. I want to limit my non-purposeful spending because I have an eye on the fact that 1, I want this vacation, 2, I want that loan paid off, and 3, I want my down payment to a real house. I want to fix my Jeep, so I put Fix George because that's his name. George's fender and the quarter panel. And then I want to go have fun family pictures done. We have not had family pictures done, and I can't even tell you how long. So those are my 2022 goals. There's 20 of them. So yeah, that's where we're at. So that said, I think we're now at about an hour once I smush these two together. Yeah, let's see. So I have like I said, I have my planner. I have to go to Michael's. I need to get my ink pad. I was sat down to make cards, and my ink pad is completely dry. So I have to go buy a new ink pad. I need a blender pen. I apparently bought the refill for the Tombow glue adhesives, the dot adhesives that I like. I did not buy the little contraption that goes in it that turns the wheel so you can actually use them. So I have to get that because I'm Kelly. And then, of course, we need DMC 3840 to put in the bag to finish the Mitch McConnell whale. So, if you have any interesting butthole facts, which just welcome to my channel where we talk about everything and it's a little crazy. Please let me know because that seller and I are very curious to make a whole series of political statements about buttholes.
Probably shouldn't do that on comment section of YouTube.
The
Because
boy
of all the
child
guidelines.
boy child says be careful how you word them in the comments though if you have them. So because the YouTube's people might get a little
YouTube
cranky.
YouTube guidelines are very specific now.
Um,
Okay.
the other thing, if you have a tablet suggestion for an inexpensive tablet, ideally with a bigger screen because I'm old or older, that will run Pattern Keeper. If you could let me know. Somebody made a suggestion about one, but it's almost a $200 tablet. I'm thinking like ideally less than $100. Ideally like in the $50 to $75 range. Nothing crazy because all I'm literally going to do is load like patterns for pattern keep like to cross stitch from. So I don't have to worry about um
All the papers.
all of the papers and stuff. So I have an iPad that is technically for the office, although my son has seemingly taken it over. But I know that iPad doesn't run Pattern Keeper. So, because I'm not opposed to like having the iPad do double duty of, work stuff and cross stitch stuff. Like that's not a big deal. So, with that said, I am certainly going to learn how to smush these together, or else you'll get episode 71, part A and B, because life. So with that said, I bid you adieu. Again, feel free to reach out to me. I am His Princess Kelly on Instagram. Um, life is good. Oh, that said, go check out Jukebox Stitchery on Facebook. We are also on Instagram. That is Clay and my business pattern company. We put out a freebie in honor or in memorial of Betty White. I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing. It includes Morse code because you're not going to get a traditional pattern from me. It's super cute. We would love to have you stitch it with us to honor Betty White, and we'd love to have you tag us in the thank you for being a friend, Sal, um, on Instagram and show us your progress. We'd love to see it. So that is our first big release. We had not anticipated doing that. I mean, we had the pattern. We were going to release it in a different way, and this just felt right for both of us. So we are happy to share that, and hopefully it will let you know kind of to keep coming back. We've got some patterns that are being test stitched, and we should be ready to go and doing a big several releases of actual pay for patterns. So hopefully you love us. So there you go. With that said, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.